What's going on, everyone? How are we doing today? This is James Sweeney, aka Splitsuit, and today we're just going to be doing a 4-tabling video on full tilt at 100. So just starting up a table and just getting on blinds, and hopefully things will be enjoyable. And we'll post that. Yes. Perfect. Cool. So I'll pick up a gut shot here. I'm going to stab this out for like half pot, try to pick it up. I also have an overcard, which is good. I'll pick this pot up uncontested, probably enough for the time to break even on it, plus I always have some equity, and I don't really want to always check fold these kind of free plays. So I'll just stab it, make a decision if I get any action. Good. And also for the record, if you see when my stats come up that I don't have much in terms of sample size, that's because I restarted my database, so I lost all my hands from previous years. I'm just going to try to steal that. Good. Real quick while we start, we'll just run through the HUD. So name, VPIT, PFR, number of hands in blue. Then we have steal. So everything is going to be S is steal, 3-bet is 3-bet, C is C-bet, re-steal, or RS is re-steal. I'll give him the first one. And so what it's going to be is the actual steal, then slash fold versus steal. And then 3-bet, fold versus 3-bet, C-bet, fold versus C-bet, re-steal, fold versus re-steal. And I find that normally gives me all the information that I need. Sorry, just taking a quick note there. And we'll fold that out against the min raise. Not going to steal that yet. Normally when I'm first starting the table, I prefer stealing with a little bit more equity rather than just like complete fucking shit. My bad for the cursing. I haven't decided whether or not I want to keep cursing in my videos or not, but I'm going to limp this behind. I want to play against him. I don't really see any reason to have to ISO here, just because I pretty much already get the fish to myself anyway. Flopping the nuts always helps, but it's just a lot of people just unnecessarily ISO there, and like I said, it's not really that necessary because I already get to play against the fish, which is what I wanted in the first place. So I just bet this for like 2/3. Might be a little bit bigger than 2/3, but oh well. If anyone has anything, I make money. If no one has anything, whatever, I wasn't making anything in the first place. No real reason to slow play there in a limped pot. Really want to think about pot geometry there and make sure that I'm making enough. Good. King 4, not going to ISO without info yet. And not going to 3-bet without info yet. So we'll just go for the steal here. I'm just going to go small, especially against the shorter stack. If you see the notes, I just put a quick color next to people that have shorter stack sizes. I want to say they're yellow notes, but I'm colorblind, so I'm not quite sure. I'll also steal the Jack 9 if it folds around. And you notice the note I was taking earlier was just quickly to notice or check if... I'm sorry, taking a quick note that I got restolen and that he restole me in position. I've been taking a lot more notes lately on if they're 3-betting in position more, out of position more, how they're doing it, what kind of cards they're using if I see them, that kind of stuff. So just being aggressive right now, picking up some blinds. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Pad the old red line a little bit. And fold that. Just for the record, in case anyone's wondering, it is Sunday afternoon, early evening Eastern time, and so the games are probably playing pretty weekendy, and there's no football, I don't think, so the games should be pretty good. I noticed Sunday games tend to be a little bit different than Saturday games, and I think it's mostly because football. And for the Euros, yes, I'm talking about hand egg. So hopefully we get a spot or two coming up, but I haven't played 100 on full tilt in a while, so I wouldn't even have much in terms of stats here anyway. I've been playing pretty much a pretty mix between everything. I've been playing everything from 25 up to 200, both full tilt, stars, and RPM, and I'm also been mixing in some 6-max. I'm trying to get my 6-max game pretty strong. I'm liking 6-max. 6-max is actually a really nice change of pace. Like the margin of error is just so much more favorable. Whereas when you're playing full rank, it's so precise, and like any mistake you make, like that's your hourly just evapped. Whereas in 6-max, there's just like your calls and stuff aren't so thin. It's a lot. I prefer the game in my opinion, though I'm still trying to get used to it. And you notice I was just using the smaller size earlier, like the 2.2 and 2.3, just to try to from late position. It's just my standard steal size tends to be a bit smaller. I tend to use 3x from everywhere else. There are certain games where I will use 4 or 5 as an open. There are also certain games where I will min raise, but my standard is going to be 3x from everywhere, like 2.5-ish from late position. Totally dependent on who's around though. Fold that. Take a quick note on that. And let's see. Use out of position. 30 BB with 9-9 stack of preflop. Just again taking some more quick notes. This is something that a lot of people I feel get very, very lazy on and don't take the proper amount of notes. So you really want to make sure, like, if anything happens, just take a quick note on it. Now, it doesn't really matter so much if someone, like, say he had aces there. Like, I probably wouldn't even say anything because it's not that notable. But if he has something like ace jack or he has something like nines, it's really important because if he's squeezing nines there, he's probably squeezing like nines plus for sure. Eights I'm not quite sure about, but at least I know that he's squeezing things like tens and jacks and not flouting them, which both dilutes his 3-bet range and also turns his flouting range in that scenario more face up, which is never a bad thing for us. Yeah, we'll make a decision when the jacks come around to us. Really no default there, it's just kind of feel out what happens. Sometimes I 3-bet, sometimes I flat. Just depends on the scenario. And kings, we're open that. Just gonna flat the jacks here and play poker. You could definitely make an argument for squeezing. I'd be way more apt to squeeze if I were in position though. But that. Check and make a decision when it comes back around. Okay, gonna bet again for value. Folding if I get raised from either of them. Fold that. And I don't really want to give a lot of action there with the jacks. I was kind of just treating it more as like a set mine pre-flop, so I'll just fold that. He called for 2. I'm gonna try to get last bit of value from like ace-x type hands. Whee! So turn went check check, I take it? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so called 3 streets with it, that's nice. And definitely taking a note on this, especially if he has like ace king. If he has an overpair, it doesn't really tell me anything. C-bet bad M-way 7-6x. Good. That's actually a really important thing to note as well. If people are c-betting bad into multiple players, that's generally something that you can definitely use to your advantage. Just going to fold that. Not going to try to steal the 6-9. This guy's shaping up to be pretty loose. So a lot of this video isn't going to be so much like how to take super exploitable or exploitative, lines. It's going to be more about pretty much building default lines and making sure your default lines are really strong. Because most of this is just going to be exactly that. So queen 4 and aces. Nice. That's always fun. Go 3-bet out of position with queen 4. Come on, stop that. And just going to fold that. Again, with less information, I'm more likely to want equity, so not going to be using a hand like that. And Jack 3 I'm not going to do, and this guy's going to have position on me. And as much as I like ISOing, I'm not going to ISO 10-3. I love the fact that I have position. The hand just isn't quite strong enough to really get involved with it. The a6, a lot of people I know will complete here. I am 100% against that, so I am definitely doing a lot of folding here. I don't complete with like offsuit aces and crap like that. Like I'll probably complete with like an offsuit, like ace 10, ace jack here and there type stuff, but I really don't want to complete like ace 6 off and stuff. Definitely suited aces though. Suited aces, suited connectors, any 2 broadways I feel comfortable with, those are definitely coming along. I'm going to take a thinner steal here with jack 6 if I get the chance, but no need. I'll fold that. So limp shove. Sweet. I thought they got rid of all the short stacks. Guess not. Then again, just taking a note that he has that stack size. Dude, that's like, okay, this is so dick. Just snap call that preflop. You know you're not folding, so don't be a douchebag. Yeah, I fucking hate when people do that. It's so annoying. And Jack 5 with that kind of guy in the blinds, just gonna ignore for now. Again, I want a little bit more accuracy. Even like Jack 8 off there, I'll steal, but Jack 5 off and stuff, meh. Where's my motivation to add extra hands when I don't have enough info to really know how to play all my hands post-flop? I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, when you're playing in unknown environments or environments where you're not really quite sure, it's really important that you kind of just stay a little tighter right off the bat, in my opinion. I think too many people make the mistake of like loosening up too quickly. And we'll just open the threes. Or fold that. Don't squeeze. Thank you. A really horrific board. If I'm going to fire, I'm going to fire probably 2 or 3 barrels, and I will just decide to take this one off, though. Why can't I have that switched? I'll gladly switch flops here. Gladly. I'm going to take a fire on this board. And we'll just go for 4e5. And we'll fold that. I think against 2 guys that are shaping up to be tighter, I'm going to get enough folds here. Most of their range should be relatively set-miney and should have whiffed that board. I always have some double barrel cards and I have some equities, so meh. Just going to fold this king-jack. If I had more info, I'd probably consider 3-balling it, but not gonna do that yet. I have no info on the guy. Again, notice most of my stuff is relatively tight when I don't have info. A lot of my 3-bets are going to be way more value injected as opposed to super light. This is normally a good idea. And we're going to fold out the 7-10. This guy 3-bet me last time, or he restole one time, so definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Alright. Just taking a quick note on timing. I don't always take notes on timing. I've been doing it more recently, especially in that exact spot, because what I'm trying to figure out is he one of those people who takes a long time before re-stealing or 3-betting? Because if, say, he does it really quickly with aces, but it takes longer with his bluff hands because he's checking out HUD stats and stuff, that's a really, really, really helpful thing to have. So I'm always kind of I mostly will take mental notes on that, but I've been taking more physical notes lately, and that's been really, really helpful. Especially just being able to figure out if someone is like slow with weaker hands or fast with bigger hands makes things very, very easy. I should also note that it's happy hour, so that is probably going to skew shit a little bit. King-Queen for me from early position tends to be a fold. There are 2 people sitting out here, so I could have considered opening it, and I wouldn't have said too much about it. Min-raise steal, really want to 3-bet that, but... And I know Ultra Mega Fish is a reg, too, so... Just because I've seen him around enough of the time. But... no real reason to mess around out of position yet. Let's see, this guy... meh. Don't really want to flat. Whatever. 3-bet there. And we're still there. And we will definitely ISO here. Fold verse RS IP 1X. And just for the record, in case you're interested about what, like, the way I'm taking notes, it's just fold verse resteal, he was in position, and it happened one time. That way I get to get an idea if, like, he's doing something more or less often, and gives me better ideas. I'm just going to take a quick stab here and then be totally done with this board. I think I can occasionally get called by a second best hand, not a ton, and I really don't want to like get into a situation where I'm facing multiple bets on the rest of the way out, so I'll normally just stab that there and kind of just be done with it. So I can already tell that I'm probably going to be getting comments in the thread that I run so good, blah blah blah. That's fine. Is what it is. So he's taking a long time. Yeah, so that's apparently his baseline. His baseline is going to be slower actions. And let's give you a little color. There we go. Jack 10, Taikai, Taikai, Taikai. I can probably get this through, so just open that. Boot-to-doo. Okay, well, that was going to happen eventually, so is what it is. King 9, we're definitely steal this. No problem with that. I don't really have any info nor reason to give action here, so I'm just going to quit here and fold this Jack 10. But give it a couple seconds, because I will normally have to think in this spot, so 2 point. Come on, stop it. 2.3. And you notice I'm just using smaller size steals. Why risk more if I don't have to? Damn it. So he apparently knows who I am, and I do not know who he is. Get small 3-bet, really can't really do much about this. As much as I would love to 4-bet, not going to 4-bet some rando, and I really can't flat King 9 out of position unless I have plans on how I'm going to make money elsewhere, so F it. So yeah, just gonna tone down for a minute. So let's take a quick note. Small RSIP1X. And fold that. And we'll give you the old, where's the blue? There it is. 2 plus 2. And we'll fold that. And we'll fold that. Yeah, so nothing really special so far. Everything's been really standard. Just, yeah, I've ran kind of good with the c-bet so far. I will not complain about that at all. So we will fold out the Jack 10. We will fold out the 6-5. For the record, I know a lot of people talk about trying to balance and add in some extra stuff from early position so the range isn't like always 7s plus ace king or ace queen or whatever the hell they use. For the record, I like to use a hand like Jack 10 or something like that from early if I'm going to add extra hands. I prefer that over like a pure suited connector just because it has more equity. Not that there's really anything wrong with 6-7 suited from there, but I just prefer it be a little bit stronger. A little extra equity never hurt anybody, right? Especially because most players are going to be set money against you, so at least it gives you chances to kind of pip out their pair, which I'm never going to complain about. Because then I can win at Showdown. Alright, and I'm probably just going to complete this Queen 10, unless there's like 2 more limpers or something. Yeah, I'll definitely complete it now. I don't really feel the need to ISO, especially not with this guy over here. And this guy's been playing relatively straightforward, so where's my motivation to 3-bet him? Again, most of my unknown 3-bets are going to be a little bit more value injecty. And we'll raise the deuces for values. So, limp, cold call the 3-bet? Sweet. I feel like I should know C. Rivas, but can't really do too much here. And when I say that, I mean I'm just thinking forward. I'm just thinking whether or not I want to like double out of boards or not. Obviously, at this point, I will not be doing much of that. This guy has 100% fold versus steal. I'll probably take it. Holy shit! I am totally on the bad side of set over set here. Let's have some fun. And we're flat call this against Tim and play some poker. I know a lot of people will 3-bet that. I tend not to. And I really don't have enough info to ever fold this, so kind of just sucks to be me if it's the bad side of set over set or something. And recall the first barrel, and make a decision against the second one. And we'll just go 31.5, and we will check the ace-queen. We will fold the fours against the massive raise from early position. Ugh, he fires a second barrel. We're both relatively unknowns against each other. He sees me as a tag, and I don't think he's going to dub here light enough for me to really get involved for multiple streets. I mean, I'm not saying that he never does, but probably not enough, so I'm just going to call the first barrel and then kind of be done with it. And I'm just going to min-raise steal here. Yeah, that ace was a fucking horrific card. It's horrific because I rarely ever get paid on it, but I bet bigger because I think Service is going to be relatively stationy, and I'm just going for that. Board comes low, 2.3, just bet like half-ish pots. Ace-jack I fold from early position. You can definitely raise it. I'm definitely not going to fault people for doing it, but if you're going to raise it, you have to be sure that you're like super strong post-flop. I know a lot of people will like raise there, and okay, maybe the raise itself is like slightly plus EV, but if you're not strong enough to be able to handle it post-flop, where's your motive? Why are you doing it? I think too many people make that mistake. And I'm just going to get off of this table. I don't really want to play at tables that are breaking down right now. For the record, I will play at them at times, but I'm not going to here for a video. And don't ever post, but I'm going to do so for the video just so we can get a couple extra hands in. Where was that set hand? Yeah, so, I mean, I don't really like anything on the turn. You know, the ace is just a bad card. Like I said, I'm just trying to make sure that when someone has, like, the nut flush draw, that they get as sticky as possible. And Krivis was shaping up to be relatively fishy, so that's why I went a little bit bigger. And at least one of these two goofballs has to have a flush draw. So, not saying that they have to, but I expect them to have a flush draw a fair chunk of the time. So I'll probably play for, I don't know, the other 10-15 minutes. And unless I randomly blow up some stupid 5-bet ship for no reason, I'll probably end up posting this video. I think there are enough spots. Plus, I think I've rambled off enough about fun things. Sadly, we didn't really get to talk about much 3-betting, but again, we're playing in a situation where we're not going to be doing much 3-betting. And it doesn't even help that it's the weekend, so. And fold out the 32. Now, a lot of people I notice will flat the ace-queen here, and I don't think flatting is necessarily bad. I just think a lot of people do so with no plan, and I don't really want to 3-bet out of position right now because I don't have enough info on the guy to really know how that's going to pan out for me. So, while I'm not saying flatting is necessarily bad here, if you were coming from a steal spot, I'd be way more apt to want to get involved, but in this situation I normally just fold, especially when they come from early or middle position. Unless I really think they have like dominated ranges where they're opening like a lot of second best aces and I think that they suck post flop, or I think they're super bluffy post flop and thus there's more value inject. I'll flat there, but most of the time there's not that kind of situation, especially against like good tags and good competent lags and stuff, so I'm a little less likely to try to give them action out of position there. Again, it's breaking away from, oh my god, absolute value, oh my god, I have ace-queen, and really starting to think, well, okay, I have ace-queen, but how the hell am I going to make money? Because really that should be the big question we're constantly asking ourselves, is how am I going to turn this hand into dollars? If you can't figure it out, chances are you shouldn't be involved in it in the first place. And I mean that very, very seriously. And again, I didn't really want to 3-bet out of position against an unknown. In position, I'd probably take the 3-bet a little bit more if I didn't think I could flat it profitably. And that's the big crux of that. Do I think I could flat it profitably? There are definitely people that I will, and thus I will love to use my card edge, positional edge, skill edge, etc. But there are other people where I just don't think there's much of a post-flop edge, so I'd rather just try to take it away pre. Plus I have positions, so if they flat call me, I can always play post-flop better than they can most of the time. It's not like I've seen anyone on the table so far that I really fear. But again, I haven't played full tilt 100 in a while, so I don't even know who the hell I would fear anymore. I've actually seen a lot of full tilt people doing weird things. I saw Visor running around at 25 rush. Saw Doobie playing 50 rush. These are all people I used to play a lot with at 100. Okay, he might be a little bit looser than I originally tagged him at. But again, that's the thing, like, you don't know. So he could have just been a tag or a nit or a tag who was running a little bit hotter. He could have turned out to be a super mega fish. I really didn't know. So where's my motivation to expose a lot of money with a lot of uncertainty? I personally don't have any, so. I'd like to see this hand so I can get an idea on his squeeze range, but I don't expect this to show down a ton of the time. Fours will definitely ISO the poster if I get the chance to. Normally I hate ISOing with baby pairs, but this is the kind of situation where I would do it. And I'm not going to have any info. I can't look at his positional stuff. Fold that. Okay, so this is a situation where if I had a fish in the blinds, I'm probably going to call this a lot of the time because I'm getting extra implied odds from somewhere else. This guy's shaping up to look relatively normal. And if he was a little bit tighter, like say he was like 10-5 over this 18 or something, I'm way more likely to try to set mine there. Or if there's fish behind, again, someone that's offering me the extra implied odds that I probably don't get from this guy. I think way too many people set mine way too religiously, and I think most people, when they look through their databases, are a little bit shocked that their set mines tend to be pretty losing plays. So, because he knows who I am, and he knows what I'm capable of, I expect that I'm going to get fucked with a little more than I want to here. So I'll just default fold on the first one. I'll hit you with a truck when you go home tonight. Wow. We got some friendly players on a full tilt, I see. And we will steal here. And my size is pretty random. It's anywhere from 210 to 240. It's super fucking rando. There's literally no rhyme or reason behind it. I just like to mix it up, and I'm just going to fold out the queen deuce and fold out the 10-5. So let's play for, I don't know, another orbit or so per table, and then we'll get off and see if we have any fun hands we need to look through. I don't think so. This is the only thing that sucks about Forte, when you just get no hands. I'm just going to complete this and play poker, especially against two dumbass fish that are fighting and want to hit each other with trucks. Gross. I'm going to bet here only because I don't think I'm going to get raised a ton, and I have a ton of equity. If I thought I was getting raised a lot, I probably wouldn't donk here, just for the record. Both of these guys are shaping up to be pretty passive. First of all, they limped pre-flop. Second of all, massive gaps in the VPIP PFR differential. Man, these fish are literally angry as all hell. Don't spite raise, good boy. And we just brick that as badly as it could have possibly come. So we're check this, take a price if we get it. I don't expect to get a price though, so probably just check folding. I would love if everyone checked through though, and I were able to spike a clean 8. I would like a clean 8. Ah. Stupid fish. And obviously we're just going to fold here because we're not going to take bad prices out of position. The only reason why I wanted a clean 8 is because then there's chances someone has a jack, or chances someone caught 2 pair and got too sticky, or whatever the hell it be. Fish or fish, right? And we're open out the king queen again, middle position, early position, standard 3x size. Oops. Color code you. And jack 5 against 2 tighter guys, I'll go for the steal. Starting to get a better idea on what's going on, so again I'll start opening up certain things more liberally. Catch top pair, gonna stack off against either of them with a flush draw on board. Ugh. Gross. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the stack bang. And if I happen to be wrong, well, sucks to be me. That was a really quick pop, by the way. Kind of weird. But again, if he has ace-queen or a set, it is what it is, but I expect to be ahead enough for the time. Looks like he has the same hand. Yeah, same hand. Whee! Give me my monies back. Yeah, nothing shocking about that. The only reason why I said blah is just because I want to try to get that guy involved as well, but I don't really want to call and then have to play the weird turn spot, and I don't really want to let a diamond come off and God forbid have him slow down if he doesn't have it, or had like queen 10 or queen jack or tens that are overvaluing themselves or whatever. If this guy were a fuller stack, I probably just would have flat called, because I don't want to stack off against a full stack, but against another short stack, it's not nearly as bad. Plus, he's getting a sick price. He might feel like he's getting a sick price at that point and try to get it. Okay, I love this. I love to throw the hammer down here when I have anything with equity, but Jack 5 is just slightly too weak. Again, like Jack 8 I'm totally fine with, but speaking of Jack 8, and we fold that, and we face a dollar bet, really can't do anything about that. And, I mean, trust me, I'd love to get more active there, you really can't, so not going to step out of character for no reason, and sit out next big blind on all. So we'll just finish out the orbits and chit-chat for a minute, and we'll fold that. So not a super exciting session, but, I mean, standard full ring. There's, not the most exciting game in the entire world, but we made the most with what we could. Hopefully this helps some people think a little bit more about playing on new tables, and this is also kind of the same concept when you're shot taking. Whenever you're moving up levels and you're going into a place where you have less information, whether it be playing at a new room or playing up a level where you don't have as much info, or hell, playing down a level when you don't have much info, generally your best bet is to play a little bit tighter, kind of gather information as you're playing value with the rest of your range, and then once you start having and getting more info, then you can really start mixing it up and using using plays that allow you to utilize all your edges. Whereas here, like I said, you really can't do a lot of that. As much as I wanted to ISO or hammer people, I couldn't, and I didn't have a lot of the hands that I needed at the times that I needed them. And it just is what it is. You make the best with what you have, and you don't force situations. You just let good situations arise organically and just print money. So I'll finish out this table because I wish I was going to play longer, but I'm exhausted today. I'm probably going to go take a nap. I would love to stay at a table with two fish that are just sitting here threatening to hit each other with trucks and fucking each other's moms, but what are you going to do? But yeah, welcome to weekend games, I suppose. The hell was that hand? Ace, King, Jack 10. I totally missed this hand. Speed. Go faster. Okay, flat call's totally fine against that kind of idiot. Check call on the turn's a little bit questionable if you don't think he's super bluffy, but I'm guessing he figured he was just a bluff fish, so it's not nearly as bad. But yeah, totally fine. And obviously the river's just a check. Good, so like I said, well, this is the last hand here. I'm just going to say forget it and just play two more hands over here and then be done. Actually, forget it. That's going to take too long. I'm too bored. Okay, cool. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Hold on, I'll bring up the, what's it called? My Hold'em Manager. And let me make sure I have the right thing. Okay, today, so obviously didn't play many hands, so we're not going to look at win rate or anything, but, sat in right there in the old perfect tag stats, 15-12, and obviously nothing else is going to be that useful. I mean, 3-bet of only 1.7, but I don't think I even had aces once or anything, so not much I can do there. But again, hopefully you enjoyed it. I think there were enough situations to talk about, and again, talked a lot about default stuff. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you need anything, just give me a heads up. Actually, hold on, I'll play this last hand. So I didn't set mine the last time, but there is a fish in the blinds this time, so I am going to set mine, especially with perfect position. Last time I think I was only in the cutoff. C-bet of 50, but over how many samples, So, not really going to do anything here. I know a lot of people will peel this out. I prefer peeling this with something with a little bit more equity. Even like Jack 10 is a much better peel than doing so with 3s, just because I have more outs I can pick up on the turn and play ball. So, I'm just going to say fuck it and just fold on this one. Never going to be that wrong, just to play a little more straightforward again until I know how he handles raises and shit like that. So, let's sit out next hands, play my last hand here, see if it's anything worthwhile. It is not, so fuck it. Good, so like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it, and happy grinding.